Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 291 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name is Barbara.
Correction.
Oh, no.
You are Barbara, nominee for CDT of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. You know how I love to not boast, and then my freaking company put it on LinkedIn, and oh, God.
Well, I'm going to boast for you.
All right.
I mean, this is quite the award. This is someone
Well,
who...
hello,
and I'm
hold
getting
on,
this...
stop. I haven't gotten the award. I've got nominated, and you got to fill out
Oh.
a lot of paperwork.
Is there a way for us to vote for you? How does this work?
I have to fill out a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
With things like, what do I do to give back to our industry? And
just send them a link to the podcast. Go on.
And there's quite a bit of that, and you just have to go through the paperwork. It's a fair amount, but I was on the committee to revise the paperwork because I felt like the nomination needed to be a little, less boasting and more who you are and how you got to where you are, and just I don't know. I'm just babbling, but anyhow, so I have to fill that out, and then there's judges.
The general public, we don't get to vote.
I don't believe so. No.
If we do, let us know, because you know how much I love to beg people for votes and donations and things like that. So
I appreciate the nod to me, and I thank whoever nominated me. But like I always say, I really honestly don't ever feel like I can give back enough because I just love this industry. I was reading some Facebook posts, and why not to get into the industry and ragging on our industry? And
I hate those things. Yeah,
there's never a day that goes by that I don't feel some sort of accomplishment creating something or talking to somebody, and I just love it. So thank you.
Yeah, that's why we do this.
Exactly.
I'm not doing this for the money, I'll tell you that much. I do it because I love to do it.
Exactly. And you do love to do it, and you're just so good at it. And so so I'm just blessed. Anyhow,
well, wait a minute.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
No, because not only are you nominated, your whole lab is nominated for Lab of the Year. I mean, what the frick's going on there at Lexar?
I don't know, but Knight can't win because we've won before. But it's lovely that somebody nominated us. So yeah.
Oh,
right.
Interesting.
So
yeah.
One trick, award. So once your lab wins it, but I'm sure the person that nominated us, I thank them. I think it's wonderful, and I'm blessed to work for such a great lab. But yeah, that one's out.
Oh, well, that sucks. Okay.
I know.
It's just all you then.
Yeah.
You're going to have to carry the whole weight for the lab.
Thanks, man. No pressure. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's been a crazy busy week.
I know.
I can't even begin to explain how many offices I go to in a day and the amount of mileage I drive to get there, and it's just crazy nuts. I love it, don't get me wrong, but...
I know you love it, and you have to love it to do as much as we do, and so that's, but yeah, it's been nuts. It's getting busy.
You know what I don't love?
What?
Scheduling patients at 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, no,
that's what I don't love.
Agree.
Especially when they're like an hour away from me, and I'm like, come on.
No doubt.
Show some respect.
And you got to get up at freaking 5 and drive.
Yeah.
And
it's just come on. And then I'm tired at 11.
Yeah, I know.
So I want to ask you about Halloween next week, because I know you and your lab, you guys go a little crazy.
For sake, I go crazy. I cannot wait.
What's the plan?
Do like a costume party. Well, next week we have a pumpkin decorating contest, and we have a costume contest, and it's just fun. I wasn't in the spirit last year, but this year I'm coming back strong.
Yeah, what's your costume? Can you reveal?
No, but I do the wig, I do the makeup, I do the false eyelashes. I go all out. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Send you a pic.
Yeah, I'm dying to see what it's going to be this year.
You and Joe can make fun of me.
And we will.
I know you will. And I won't mention my MapQuest anymore, because that got So it's nice to feel old from your peers. And I don't even want to know what you were going to say, because you said, I just want to say so bad. And I was like, I was going to text you and say, what were you going to say? But I don't even want to know.
Yeah, probably best.
No. All right.
We'll get along better if you don't know.
Yeah. So what's happening this week?
Okay, so this week, it's pretty exciting.
I know.
We finally start the conversations that Barb and I got when we recorded live and in person at the DTG Symposium last September. It seems like it was ages ago.
No.
So we talked a lot during that time about how great this meeting was. Mm-hmm. And again, I just want to emphasize how great it was.
I don't think you can emphasize it enough unless you were there to really feel it. But man, it was awesome.
I don't know. I mean, the content, the attendees, the vendors, just everything vibed really well. Mm-hmm. And we had a great time. So remember, this was back at the GC America facility where we got to hang out with some absolutely top-notch technicians in our industry. I mean, seriously, some of the best were at this meeting.
Yes, sir.
Many of them showing off fantastic work they do, a lot of great presentation, great photography. But we start off by talking to two young females that are killing it in an in-office lab. Marjola Paloka and Erika Ramirez. They both graduated from the New York City Tech in 2019.
And a shout out to Renata for...
Of course, as always. So remember, as you hear all the things they've accomplished and all that they do in their lab, that they only graduated 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
It's pretty cool. So they both work at G Dental, that is a lot of floors up in some high-rise building in New York. And they work directly with some great doctors and patients, creating smiles with treatment planning and a whole heck of a lot of veneers. And then we got caught up with an old podcast friend, Beatrice Robichaud from Panthera Dental. Beatrice was at the DTG Symposium because, honestly, you can't have a dental meeting about good quality without having the company there that makes some of the best bars in the industry.
No doubt. I agree.
Yeah, Beatrice talks about the Panthera Cup. Now remember, this was recorded before the winner was announced.
Right.
Why they brought back magnets, and you heard that correctly, magnets, and a new way that they have developed that will allow labs to take their full arch zirconia cases to the next level by easily adding a Panthera titanium bar under it.
And they do it all. It's great.
It's cool. It's a game changer.
Yep.
Join us as we chat with Marjola Paloka, Erika Ramirez, and Beatrice Robichaud. What's the worst part about getting into digital in dentistry? That's not having the support that you need. And did you know that Ivoclar has digital equipment sales specialists? These experienced professionals, now these are people that have been doing this for a while. They're here to help make your transition to digital a smooth one. Don't waste your time with anyone else. They help provide customized solutions, analyze your ROI, provide hands-on assistance, and localized support. All of this catered to your needs. Let's be honest, when we're into digital, most of us have a lot of needs. Contact a digital equipment sales specialist today by emailing digitalspecialist@ivoclar.com. Tell them you heard it here on the podcast, and always, Ivoclar, we appreciate your support. Whether you're looking to elevate your craftsmanship or looking to cut back on cost, look no further.
VITA MFT teeth are the ultimate solution for creating lifelike and stunning smiles.
Crafted with precision and backed by cutting-edge technology, VITA MFT teeth offer unparalleled aesthetics and durability.
And since VITA believes in the power of experiencing excellence firsthand, for a limited time only, they are offering you the chance to get a complimentary case sample.
That's right, a full case absolutely free. Just visit vitanorthamerica.com/free MFT.
Don't wait any longer to start providing your customers a premium tooth at an economy price. Redeem your free case sample, and if you're ready to buy, VITA will even give you an extra 10% off discount by shopping online on their newly launched online store.
Join the VITA family today, and we appreciate your support of the podcast. Voices from the Bench. The Interview.
Marjola.
Erika.
Awesome. He gets to do that. He
Those
loves
last
talking
names
about names.
Here we are, DTG 2023 in Allsip, Illinois.
Allsip, Illinois.
As you said on that podcast at one time, all sip some Fireball.
I might like Fireball. Just saying.
So who do we have? Erika Ramirez? Ramirez? That's not bad. I didn't do too bad.
No, you didn't.
And Marjola?
You say it.
Okay.
Marjola?
Marjola. Paloka.
Shut up. No, really?
Marjola.
Marjola.
Oh, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Paloka?
Paloka, yes.
Paloka. Well, welcome.
Thank
you.
you. Happy
Where-
to be here.
Where are you from?
New York.
New York.
Mhm.
At which lab?
G Dental.
G Dental, yeah,
G-Dental.
representing.
So you guys work together in New York at a lab, and you're here at the DTG Symposium. So how
Yes.
did you find out about it?
So, backstory. We graduated from New York City College of Technology.
Yay.
Another Renata.
Jeez, Renata.
Exactly. Yeah, shout out.
God,
You know
Renata.
her as well.
Yes,
Yeah, she
of
was a
course.
professor.
Our professor.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? She's our very good friend. So, and our
Amazing.
very first podcast guest.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I
Yep.
remember. So we graduated in 2019. I started working at a different lab, and then she took me into her lab. And now we're basically lab rats at G Dental.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's a lab rat in your mind?
We're hiding in the lab
Yeah,
all
we're
day.
always hiding.
Don't get up.
Is this a lab associated with a dental office?
Yes,
Yes.
we're in,
Okay, so you're
in-house.
in office, in-house,
Wow.
in whatever. How many technicians are there? Just you two?
Three.
Three. So where's the third? You leave him behind?
He's the master technician. He's off on Fridays. So
I was
he's
going
like,
to say he probably doesn't leave the bench,
No, he
right? So he's pretty much lives there, correct?
Yeah.
So did you go there right after school, Erika?
No, I actually worked at while I was in school, I started working at another private office. And then right after I graduated, I went into G Dental. Yeah.
How did they find you? From the school?
So Professor Laura, actually, she used to work there too.
Professor Laura?
At
Andrescu.
Dresco.
Who am I?
She works at City Tech as well.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
I
yeah,
think with
sorry.
Renata.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So she already worked there.
She worked there.
And she picks the best students to work there too?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
We're the worst. We never know.
And then where did you go first?
So I went to Biodental. It was actually 1 block away from where we are right now. And then they closed down because it was a startup company. And she took me in.
Wow.
Well, before they closed down, she took me. She's like, "You're coming to my lab."
So what do you all do? Ceramics?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
CAD/CAM, ceramics, implant crowns, onlays, veneers, everything.
So you
Wow.
get to meet the patient?
Yes.
Yes.
You get to work with
Yeah.
the patient
Yeah.
one-on-one?
Yeah.
They take the scans and we check them, make sure that everything is perfect from the very start to the very finish.
What's your favorite thing to do? Whoa, in the lab.
What's
Each
our
of you can
favorite thing?
answer. Or do you just love it all?
Yeah, they
I-
seem
each other, like,
confused.
I love
don't
it all
know.
because we do everything from the very start to the very finish.
Yeah.
It's like we take our own little case, our own patient.
Yeah.
So it's enjoying that whole process by ourselves.
Yeah.
And I really like that it's interchangeable, where we can make like little things as retainers for a patient right after we do their veneers. Like we get to do basically everything from start to finish, whatever they need.
Do you design your own veneers? Like,
Yeah.
So you do
Yeah.
that, and then what are you?
Yeah.
Do you use
We-
Emacs?
We can mill, but we almost never mill. The Emacs, we press them.
So you design it, mill it in wax,
Yeah.
and then press?
Yeah, and then we also have like the system in place where we do the wax ups prior to the patient's appointment, and then we try them on. Most of the time they love it, and then they come back and do their
Most of the
preps.
time.
Most of the time. And then they come back, prep their teeth, and then their teeth are ready to go in less than a week, actually.
Wow.
Do you get to
Yeah.
meet the patients?
Oh,
Work with
yeah,
the
for
patients?
sure.
Do you see them before they get any work done? Like, do you
Yeah.
go through the whole treatment plan?
Yeah,
and-
basically, we're intact with the dentist. So he brings us in. We check. Basically, we also do a kind of looking at the patient's face. We do their phonetics. We kind of tell them things to say, and we take pictures of them before and after. We take their shade, basically everything.
Wow. Do you do that, bring their smile into the program, and where they, I don't know what that's called, the smile design?
It's a trial smile, I think.
Yeah,
Trial
we do
smile?
smile design as well, yeah.
And you do this on ExoCAD or 3Shape?
3Shape.
3Shape, wow.
Did you guys learn 3Shape in school?
We took one
they
course.
have that at
yeah,
that
the
time?
very simple things, and then everything else we basically learn on at the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And what's the doctor like? Is there one doctor there?
There's a prosthodontist.
Ooh.
There's
Perio.
Prosthodontist, you know how much I
Periodontist.
love them.
There's a
Periodontist.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we also took on one more prosthodontist. She just
Yeah.
came on to the team. And then we have another prosthodontist in the office that kind of brings us his work as well.
So you guys are doing really major, extensive cases, huh?
Yeah, I
Did
really
you
like
all just
working with
graduate in
them.
2019?
That's
Yeah.
pretty
That's
awesome.
insane.
Yeah, and we just got our CDTs.
Did you really?
Yes, we
Congratulations.
did.
We
So
were just
what'd you get
talking
them,
about that.
dentures?
Us-
Okay.
yeah, of course.
Ceramics?
What else?
Ceramics.
So you were able to bring a little bit of CAD CAM in there, a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
of printed models, design. I love how
Yeah.
they've expanded that whole skill level.
Yeah.
Where you can do it. That's great.
And it was nice because we got to do it in our office. It was first I went, and then Erika went right after me. So it was really nice.
I remember when they were just developing that and they came to Night Dental. I'm in Tampa, and we tried it out. We were like, do you think we can do this? And, we were holding the camera and just making sure that it was possible. And it is. And we hear a lot how much techs love just being able to do it in their bench space,
Yeah.
not leaving, traveling. Everything's right there. They're comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's
Did
cool
you
to
find
hear
the
you guys
test
say that.
easy or hard?
It was funny. Do you remember when we got our box back? We got our box back 'cause they bring it back to us. We got our box back at the same time. So the FedEx guy just kind of like shoved it into our lab, and we looked at each other like, oh, is this it? Is this it?
So when you get the box back, you don't know your if
We
you
don't know our
passed yet?
grades. No, nothing.
Nothing.
So we kind of looked at our box, right? We opened it slowly, and we saw all the foam in there. We took out the foam, and we're opening it slowly, and we're like, wait, okay, let's compare. How does yours look like versus mine? How does someone, if we passed, what do you think they would do to these
how
to these
fun.
models? Would they just
Yeah.
throw them in the box or carefully pack them?
Did you
like
film
Christmas.
this moment?
No,
No.
we wish we did.
But we
Yeah.
filmed it on our heads clearly.
And you both passed at the
Yes.
same time.
we
That's
did.
great. What about the
Yeah.
written test? Did you learn most of that in school?
We did, but since we started working in 2019, we took the test last year. We kind of had to study for it,
Yeah,
obviously.
sure.
We,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, you want to do well.
yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
you want to do well in, you're
Yeah.
going to put the time and effort
Yeah.
in, even though you went to school also, just to put it all together.
Yeah,
So did the dentist up your pay when you became CDTs?
of course, by
Yeah.
13,000%.
13,000%. Nice. Nice.
So now we're at DTG. What are you guys super excited to see, or is it just the whole event? Is there
Well-
anything that you're like super focused on?
Well, this is our first time coming here.
Us
Same
too.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice.
It's just so exciting to see, the art and, everybody's creativity. It's
Come into one.
Wow.
So you follow them on Facebook probably.
Yeah.
The affiliates.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some big names here.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you posting work trying to become a DTG-er, or what's the term, the DTG member?
We're slowly posting work. I have
Yeah.
some work
Good for
on our
you two.
Instagrams. Yeah.
I feel like I'm not ready to kind of put my work out there
Yeah.
because I don't feel good enough. But it's just, I think this is how you start.
Exactly.
Even
Yeah.
Vaughn, every time we have Vaughn on, he talks about just get it out there. Because in 10
Exactly.
years, when you look back,
Yeah.
you'll be able to see where it came from. So don't be afraid to throw it up there. Just toss it on there,
Yeah.
Way
I
to do it.
we are doing it slowly, right? Incrementally. It's like 1 month we'll post something, and then 2 months will pass and we won't post anything, and then the
Yeah.
next month.
Do you think the dentist would allow you to post the intraoral pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's,
he
he's
does.
awesome.
He's a very-
He really supports us in everything.
Awesome.
I was
So,
going to ask you guys
yeah.
that. So did they help send you here?
Yes.
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 Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
they gave you the day off.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah.
and paid
Yeah.
for it?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty special.
Yeah, he's a very cool doctor.
So shout out to Dr. G.
Shout
Dr.
out.
A.
Dr. G and
Dr. Graziano Gelio.
Oh, I see why you call
Yes.
him Dr. G.
Dr. G.
That way you don't have to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I love being a doctor. It's like, they all just call me Dr. Barry. And then you're like, you look at his last name, oh, yeah.
And you might also guess why it's G Dental.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
And he just keeps bringing on associates, so you guys are obviously growing.
Yeah, because he also teaches at NYU, and he brought his new graduate from NYU.
So someone that just graduated,
Yeah,
he's like,
she's
oh,
very good too.
yeah. So where is the practice? In downtown?
Midtown.
Midtown Manhattan.
I'm from the Midwest, so New York.
52nd
Right-
between Madison and 5th Avenue.
Is
Yeah.
that like
I
in
know
the
where
heat?
Madison is.
It's
I
right by
love
St.
New York.
Patrick's.
Oh, yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you like on the
love it there.
100th floor or something? Or?
No.
No, the 215th.
I'm from the Midwest. It sounds possible to me.
Imagine having that many floors. No, we're in the 12th
Well.
floor.
Well,
I've been to
how
one
fun.
lab in Chicago, and I think they were on the 60-something floor of some building.
it's insane.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
It's like, I
I
hope
used-
you never have to buy any big
Yeah.
equipment.
Speaking of equipment, what do you guys have? Do you have printers?
Oh, we
What do
have.
you say?
What don't we have? We have
Dentists
two
love to buy
mills.
toys.
Yes.
Yes.
That's, yeah.
Yes, we feel like spoiled rats in,
Yeah.
in the
For
lab
real.
because
Anytime-
we get anything and everything.
Yeah.
And he's very supportive. Any new technology, he's let's do this, and
Is he doing what's that, photogrammetry and all that? I mean,
So we're actually looking into getting into that. So.
And if we want it, he's like, okay, you guys can have it.
Wow.
It's so bad.
is he hiring?
Well, we are gonna move into a bigger place. So.
Really?
Yeah, hopefully.
Eventually.
How
yeah.
much of a bigger lab space do you get? Where are you in now? Like a closet, or do you have ample
No, we
space?
have it's getting too small for us
It's like
now.
a 2x4.
Yeah.
It's enough, right?
Yeah.
2x4 is enough.
She's
I mean,
bragging
we
on
fit.
you. I love it.
We fit like some mills in there. We have a wet mill, dry mill. We have
So you
two
guys are doing
printers.
zirconia. You're doing a lot.
We're doing everything, yeah, except dentures.
Yeah. Are you
Dentures
layering
are-
zirconia, or are you just doing like multi-layer?
We do a little bit of both.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
But dentures is a no.
well, we don't have a way of processing in house.
I would
And
think
also,
that
I
would
feel
be
like
hard.
the patients that come into the office, they're in a certain age, right? Age rank, and then they always look for veneers or ways to make their smiles brighter. And also, Dr. G loves to do things like for patients in terms of like time.
Yep.
It's not where we're taking a month to do veneers or over 2 weeks. We're actually doing it pretty fast.
How do you guys choose who gets what patient?
Oh, let's say for
Any
night guards, because we
minimum.
hate doing night guards. I don't know why. It's just so time consuming.
It's tedious.
Yeah, it's tedious work.
Really? A night guard?
I don't know.
There's
talking-
no fun
you're talking-
in a night guard.
I know,
it's
but-
like you're not creating.
Yeah.
Or being artistic.
retainer.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll take the first night guard, and the next day, if we get another one, she'll take it.
So
We'll
you just go back
change.
and
Back
forth.
and
That-
forth.
That's cool. I
Actually,
love that.
before we came here, I did a night guard because it's due on Monday, and this was yesterday evening or no
Yeah.
afternoon, and I
Yeah.
was like, we have to catch our flight, so I'm doing a night guard, finishing it off for Monday, and then
I
she
get a night
she
guard.
gets a night guard. She does it, but I didn't see this, right? And then we get another night guard. And she's like, oh, look, you have another night guard. I was like, no, that's yours. That's yours. She goes, I just did one.
You're like,
Always
damn it,
happens.
it's your turn. No, it's your turn.
But do you fight the opposite way for those nice cosmetic cases where you actually get to create? Do you fight for them, or do you still try
Or is
to
it just
pass them
every
off?
other?
It's,
Kind
yeah,
of,
I
yeah.
think it's every other. Or sometimes, Dr. G's like, you know what? Have Shmuel do this.
Shmuel is our
Or
the
ma-
other tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have a lot of fun working there.
We do.
Yeah, we do. Tell them about the confetti prank.
Oh, we do a lot of pranks on our doctor.
As you should.
Hopefully we don't get fired ever. But yeah, we do. There was this one time on his birthday, we called him into the office, and I had this what is that?
Confetti popper.
Oh, the
And
thing you
we're
pull?
like, Dr.
Yeah.
G. We actually have the video. And I'm like, Dr. G. And it got stuck. It couldn't go. He's like, what? He's looking so confused. And all you see is the confetti going to his face.
And then you see me in the background, like, laughing on the floor.
But they get us back. They get
Yeah,
us
they
back.
do. And then
Wow.
that same day, he goes into his office and his wife calls us on the phone. Guys, what did you do to Dr. G? Come here fast. And he's on the floor with his tongue out. He's like moving but twitching a little bit. And I was like, get up.
So he was messing with you.
Yeah.
Dying,
It's a fun
dying.
time. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it when technicians can find a good in-office
Yeah.
Yeah,
job.
for
I
sure.
mean, you get to do so much more. You
Yeah.
see so much more, and if you can have fun doing it,
Yeah, and I feel like
bonus all around.
it's hard. I feel like to find a good in-office job.
Yep.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of
Yeah.
pressure, but also there's no right communication between the doctor and the dental technician. And I feel what do you think, like, what was the hardest thing for you in the beginning?
Yeah, I think it was more of like the pressure I put on myself because he's always been supportive. He's always encouraging us, and I think it was just the idea that I had in my head, like, oh my God, I have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But he was always so encouraging, so it was like everything was in my head. I think that was the hardest thing for me.
I'd hate to have the dentist there every day. They could walk in at any minute. I mean, just you get no
He
break.
actually leaves us. Sometimes I'm like, where is he? unless we call him in to mark a
Yeah.
margin or to check something that he needs to check.
So he trusts you.
He
Yeah.
does, he
For
does,
That is
yeah.
amazing.
He does. He's amazing. He's always encouraging us, like, hey girls, look at this, or like, take pictures, take them this way, they'll look better. Or we're trying to post something on Instagram, like, hey, you want me to help you edit this?
Yeah.
And yeah,
Wow.
he's amazing.
Sometimes we
yeah.
forget to take pictures, and he gave us a little note, and it said, take pictures on every case. That's one less lecture from Dr. G.
One less. That's great.
Do you guys ever want to do like milling a VMAX?
So
Or
we
do you
do. We
like-
do.
Oh.
We just don't do it as often, but it's
Yeah.
a choice. It's not because
Yeah.
we don't do it.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
more of a
Yeah.
choice. I like to wax also.
There
So-
you go.
Wax?
That's
Yeah.
why. Okay,
I like
that makes a lot of
waxing.
sense. Yep. Because it's so artistic and
Yeah.
soothing.
How did you learn to like that? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, because we're surrounded by so much, like, everything is so tech.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
turn your
yeah.
corner, it's
Computer.
everywhere is tech.
My bench is literally a computer in front of me, a mouse next to me, and my handpiece.
Yeah.
So, at some point it's like, I need a break from that digital. I really want to
Oh, I
just
love
wax
that,
or, like,
actually.
stain.
It makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
after you explained it to me. Sometimes I feel like when you press a unit, it's a lot more work on the other side where you've got to grind the sprue down
Yeah.
and do all of that. But when you talk about the waxing and the finessing and the artistry,
Yeah.
it connects it in my brain a little better. So
Yeah.
I get it.
well, we love hearing what you're doing. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And congratulations for finding a really great doctor, too, especially one with a bunch of prosthodontists
Yeah.
in there. 'cause, it's not always easy. So good job
Yeah.
for you guys.
I really think it's important, I think,
Yeah.
to find a dentist that can also teach you the clinical side.
Yeah.
Because
And
it makes us our job be a little bit easier.
Yeah, and it's also I want to say the relationship he has with his wife, because the periodontist is his wife.
Oh,
So,
that's a whole other
um,
dynamic.
Yeah, it's really nice how they communicate, and Dr. A does surgery, and then Dr. G follows in with restorative,
Yeah.
and then he pulls us in to help with whatever, and I think that chain of communication, it's really the best.
Yeah.
So you see you guys staying there for quite some time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not really?
I've been there for 4 years almost. And you.
4. I've been 4.
Yeah,
You've
4.
been
Almost
3 and a
4.
half. Yeah.
That's
roughly about the
fantastic.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And he
great.
pays you well, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Oh
If you're
yeah.
in New York,
I told you
so-
13,000%.
That's
That's
CDT.
really important, though, seriously, because you
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
packing it at that place. I mean, you
And
guys
he's
are-
really good about giving back. Actually, we had our Formlabs 3D printers, Form 3B and the
Yeah.
second
Two.
one. We just gave them to
City Tech.
City Tech.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did he buy you better ones and fancier ones?
Oh, we
The
have a
Sega.
Sega. We have the big Sega, the Pro 4K.
Okay,
Oh.
we
And
call
then
it
we have the little one.
we call it Mama Sega.
Mama Sega. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Baby Sega and Mama Sega.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. It was always
Awesome.
a fun time.
Fun times, yeah.
Well, great. Thank
good
you
luck
so
to you.
much for finally sitting down and
Thank
chatting
you.
with us. And
It didn't hurt too bad. You guys
No.
were awesome. Congratulations, too. And good
Thank
luck.
you.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We're so extremely happy.
Yeah, that's the
DTG
understatement of the day.
Symposium 2023. Our table's on wheels. We just moved it into the room they did the gum battle in.
We're pretty good at moving our table there, bro. Just saying. Okay.
Beatrice from Panthera joins us yet again. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you, guys. What about you?
Doing fantastic.
You're all over the place, just saying, with the whole top 3, Panthera.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
Nina's here.
Nina's
and-
here, and she's in the top 3. There's also Lola that's right here. She ended up with the best documentation.
Yep.
So that's really exciting.
So how many people applied this year?
As I said, the exact numbers stay confidential, but what I can share is that we have people from over, listen to that, 50 different countries.
Wow.
That's insane.
It is, I never dreamed
I didn't even
of that.
know there were 50 countries in the
To dental
world.
technique, yeah. Yeah, to do. I had one guy from Madagascar.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. No joke. I
That's
don't know.
cool.
I mean, how serious it was. And gonna be honest, his application was not bad.
Yeah.
He had really something interesting. Not to make the top 10.
Sure.
But it was interesting. We kind of, please, upgrade your game and you might do it.
How many years have you been doing that cup?
That's the 5th
competition.
edition. Because of COVID, obviously, we had to stop for 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the 5th edition right now. It's really
It's all the
amazing.
rage.
It's great. We have right now Mark Williamson that is also in the Symposium
He
right
won
now.
the first one, didn't
He won the first one. He brought with him his
Wow.
case that make him win. You can see it on the table.
Oh, he brought it here?
Yeah, just right there
Oh,
on the
I gotta
table.
check it
and then
out.
he has the book and everything, and he wear the ring that we made for him post, because
wow.
we didn't add the rings for the winner in the first year. But as a gift, we decided
It's
to
kind
make
of
one
like a
for him.
Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Super Bowl. That's the
That's
whole
a good call. I got to check it out.
idea. Was like as Mark have his
I
ring in
will.
his hand right now.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
if
ring.
if you ask Mark, he'll have you kiss it.
Yeah.
Well, it's Mark, so I will.
So yeah, 5th edition. We're really, really happy with that.
Yeah, that's
Again.
great.
So this year in the top 3, we have Nina that ended up in
Mm-hmm.
the top 3. We have a gentleman named Evgeny from Ukraine. He moved to Germany for obvious reason right
Yeah.
now. And then we have a young German technician called Patricia. I think she's like 24, 25 years old. She just get out of school.
You
And
gotta
then
be
she made the
kidding me.
top 3.
Wow.
Like raw talent,
Wow.
obviously.
Wow.
So that's really, really wow.
So what were the bars this year?
So we realize that the bar, as much as they are important in the challenge, that we realize that what is important is to have a great story behind it. So
Yep.
this year, we decided to come back with the same we had first year. That's mean one Reebok bar on the upper and the lower a wraparound bar
Yep.
for implant all-on 4. So at the end of the day, we realize that what is a challenge? It's not to finish the bar, it's to fill the form, like function, aesthetic. This is what is important. Finishing a bar is part of it, obviously. The Reebok bring this aspect of being a more complicated structure. But this year, we decided to do something very funny. We decided that the typical patient, it's a young lady in her 30s that start to be popular in Bollywood. And then she started to make a little of money, and to pursue her career, she wanted a Bollywood smile.
So everything had to be perfectly straight and white and big and bold. And
Well, kind of, but what
So
is
there's actually a story behind
is a story.
a theme?
So now what is
Wow.
great, the documentation, like Lola. Let's talk about Lola
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
She literally asked one of her friends that she's Indian. She took picture of her and started to imagine her friend being her patient, And then
Nice.
she made in our documentation a first study of what is a Bollywood smile. So all of them they made in their documentation, they talk about looking about popular Bollywood actress, they look at their smile, is there jewel, is there pure white, what is the color of the gingiva, and all those kind of detail. And
Interesting.
Because that's a, what do you expect? You see, I said Bollywood smile, you had something in your head, and you realize that had 10 different versions of what is a Bollywood smile. And that's really interesting. It's a different challenge to make.
I've seen one Bollywood movie, and I just remember being very loud, intense, and a lot of dancing.
Yeah, that's the Bollywood culture, obviously. But yeah, I said, why not doing something little different? So we already know our story for next year. It's going to be as exciting.
Really?
That's really cool.
That's
I love
great.
that.
So we're at DTG. You showed me a bar you're wanting to talk about.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this.
So we're launching a new product, as a matter of fact, during the DTG Symposium. I'm super excited. And I'm going to try to explain to you right now, we're launching in reaction of a request from the market that I realized was not really addressed well. It is addressed somehow, but I think now the industry is asking, and I can put like a big loonie, a Canadian loonie, on the table saying, the talk of the town in Lab Day Chicago, February, will be this kind of bar.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. So what we've seen in the last 7 years, there's a shift on the market from all-on-4 with the titanium bar and wraparound acrylic to a full zirconia bridge.
Absolutely. Yep.
Even biggest DSO center, I've moved to full zirconia. But after 7 years, what we realize, everybody do everything except following the proper guideline of zirconia. So it's break. They have breakage problem. They cannot afford to have a last molar because implant and all-on-4 concept are all in the interior area. So there's not enough cantilever possible. People still try to do it, and it's breaks. There's a problem right there. And now what we started to see is a lot of, like, we'll say, those kind of lab, those kind of tech guy that play around with machine and software, not the average technician. Like the guru, the KOL people. And then they started to say, why we don't do a full zirconia bridge, but a heart made of titanium?
Yeah.
Simple idea. But how can you apply it? How you do it? So now we start to see a couple of companies that try to do something. Then suddenly there's a little Australian company called Blender for Dental. So Blender is a software. Blender, if you talk to any video guy out there, it's a software they all know to use to do filming, editing, and 3D videos. Stuff in their video. It's a really cool software, and it's free. The whole software actually is free. So Blender, those two guys have developed a module that you integrate in Blender for a few $100s.
Yeah, we've had, what's his name, Wolfgang and
talked to
brother on the podcast.
So yeah, there's, as a matter of fact, I think there's two German guys that moved to Australia to make the true story. So their software is really interesting. But Blender for Dental, Blender, the actual software, it's not an easy software. No. It's complicated software. I think you told me, Elvis, you tried it.
I downloaded it, and about 30 minutes later, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
We're talking to a tricky guy that know technology, love technology, and you call not. So
it's complicated.
So what's going to happen? You're going to have a couple of tech, guru, tech CV people that might go through it. But what about the average dental lab? What is bread and butter, as I call in the market? So we said, how can we use our knowledge as a milling partner and try to introduce? So this is exactly what we're doing right now. We start to offer a service where we work from a final aesthetic that is being done either digitally or traditionally by our customer, and we split the file in two. We manufacture the bar, but we send back this zirconia part to the lab. So the lab can use his own milling machine using his own zirconia. Could be Amann Girrbach, Zirconzan, VITA, Ivoclar, doesn't matter.
Whatever,
Whatever you used to work, continue. And then you receive the file, and it's ready to mill. You don't have to adjust it.
So you design it, you do everything. We take the file and we mill it and center it, and then
exactly. You mill a zirconia,
together.
I mill the bar, send back the bar. You finish, the aesthetic, stain in glaze or characterize depending of your final. Glue everything, cement everything together, and they're ready to go.
So the lab will just design, basically in their minds, a full arch zirconia.
There you go.
Send it to you, and you take out that middle
We
part.
extract the bar from their design.
Interesting.
Exactly. And now I send back the extracted design,
Yeah.
without the bar. So, and it's ready to mill. And why is interesting? Because I bring my knowledge in software to make sure that every aspect of the file sending to you is you mill it without question. Don't touch the file. Direct to machine, it will perfectly fit together. You're going to have a nice finish line, enough space for cement, and the access hole will all align
But how can
properly.
you guarantee that with so many different mills out there?
I know. I was thinking the same damn thing.
What if I try to shove it in my
That's
MCXL?
pretty awesome.
Gonna be honest. Right now, right now we have launched our solution in the beta phase because
Yeah.
I tried with multiple machine and so far 100% success
No
rate.
kidding.
I'm gonna find one machine that
You
doesn't
are.
work.
Eventually,
there's gonna be a
yeah.
machine that is not calibrated or something like that. It's gonna happen. So that's why we're launching in a beta phase and to have a full launch beginning of next year. But I'm telling you, next Chicago, I'm not gonna be the only one. There's going to be multiple companies
Well,
that are
once
going
they
to
hear this
promote.
podcast, everyone's going to be
Well,
scrumming around again.
Well, gotta be honest.
Catch up with you.
Gotta be honest. There's already there's few milling center already
Yeah.
offer a similar or kind of similar option out there. So it's okay. I mean, as you say, people are gonna either listen to the podcast or just go on my website. You're gonna figure out.
Yeah, sure.
I know what I'm offering. We're at DTG Symposium. We just had a nice lecture from Jeff Dugray that just said he
Saw
loved
that.
working with it. I didn't pay him. Promise.
Yeah.
Didn't pay him. He loved the product. And people were consistent. We try to do our best. And then we love the dental technicians. So
Sure.
that's exactly why I developed that product, to make sure that as a technician, you continue keeping the aesthetic in your hand. Lets us manage the framework, the everything that's under that at the end of the day will not change your aesthetic.
So what do you do? Just lay in bed one night and that comes to your head that this is what we need?
No, I would say
Like, that's pretty spectacular.
looking at the market, understanding the market. It's all started by a simple question. I was like, why we don't sell more bar? I have my sleep division. It's growing crazy.
I bet,
Like a higher. I don't know the name of my people that work in the office anymore. There's too many people in the headquarter. Okay.
Yeah.
To be honest, the exact number where you start not knowing people is 85 people. At that moment, I started to not know by heart every employee
lot of
name,
people,
Okay.
yeah.
Now we're a little over 120, going for 150 at the headquarter by Christmas, because my sleep division go well. My other division goes very well, but obviously not the same,
Yeah.
doubling month after month. And I was like, why? What's going on with implant bar market? We're kind of struggling. It's like
The wraparounds are going away.
yeah, the wraparound's going away. So we said, yeah, people want zirconia. And then I said, I do offer zirconia. I can mill zirconia, but people don't send me job for an obvious reason. You can buy a nice milling machine for under
Yeah.
10 grand.
Yeah.
So why
do it
outsourcing?
yourself.
You get a
Yeah.
machine, do it yourself. You get it same day, next
Yeah.
day.
100%.
So I said, how can I work with people? And then realizing that, they have a problem with the mill in-house. It break.
Yeah.
The titanium bar was already there. There's a couple of people online that share on Facebook their solution, but everybody said, I want to do that, but I don't know blender. I don't have a milling machine. I don't own a titanium milling machine. And then I said, well, there is room for us to be there.
Well, what are most people doing? Making the bar, then scanning the bar and designing the
Yeah,
zirconia
there's some
over
people,
it?
what they do, without knowing, I
That's gotta be tough.
retracked my last 6 months and realized some people were testing me by sending me bar. Then I was, why you do a bar that doesn't look like a wraparound, no attachment, nothing? And then realizing they were making the bar with me, getting the bar back, rescan the bar, lose a little of precision, open ExoCAD and some other engineer software,
Yeah.
try to design a bridge that they had designed elsewhere, try to fit one in. You have a lot of patience. It's like 6 hours spending on a computer for that.
And you have to
Yeah.
you have to get into the little bit of it, and you got to play with it for way too long.
In French, we even have a name for that. We call nobody gonna understand except the Quebec French people. We call it a patenteur, someone that without couple of object will make a full mechanical structure.
Oh, we call that MacGyver.
Okay, there you go, exactly. So those tech are MacGyver kind of dental tech, but they're few. They're cool to watch on Facebook and so on, but it's not accessible. The idea is to bring this knowledge.
Most labs don't have
accessible.
the time.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
So let me nerd out for a little bit. This bar that you cut out, is there a taper to it?
So we have different shape. Obviously, right now we have a small shape. We have a shape with a lingual, all of metal, depending the hygiene. What is great with our technology, we're able to bring the bar so small that the final restoration can be as low as 8 millimeter total vertical height.
8 millimeters
8
of
millimeter from
zirconia.
the total. Everything together from the top of the implant to the edge, the top of your incisional teeth, 8 millimeter.
With the titanium in
Yes,
there?
sir. Yeah, I see your face right now. Like, how can they
the
make
silence speaks volumes? Because I'm
it's
8 millimeters.
8 millimeter. It's really small because I know right now in the industry we're so inclined of the all-on-4, remove the teeth, put implant. There's no vertical space. So I see implant company giving class how to remove bone before putting implant to create vertical space.
I want 15 millimeters. I want 15 millimeters.
If you want, normally if you do zirconia, you try to do a zirconia framework that will be between 12 to 15 millimeter to make sure zirconia will be strong enough. But now you have to have the space. And most of the time
now
you
you're
don't.
down to 8.
So we're down to 8 because you put titanium middle of it. So no breakage. You can do your extension. And obviously mix it with Pentra compatibility list. 700 implant compatible.
Wow.
So you do cement it onto the bar.
You still cement the bar and the zirconia together. And now there's an opening of option. Also, you have let's say a patient is a little more rich and want to travel a lot. Well, you can do a full PMMA or a PMMA replacement. You can do 2 sleeve ahead of time. Something goes wrong, de-cement, cement another one. There's going to be work behind it.
Yeah.
But still.
Interesting. And the screw access hole for that bar will go through the zirconia so they can
through
still
zirconia
remove it?
titanium, exactly. Straight.
And when you send it back to us, that screw hole's already going to be there.
The screw hole will be done in the titanium bar, and you got the file with the exact screw hole. You just have to straight to mill. It will perfectly fit one on top of the other one. You just use a lab screw, the long screw.
Yep.
So when you glue them just to align them together, cement them, you use the lab screw to make sure that the holes stay, and then you're fine.
Everything's got to be on a multi-unit, or are you going direct to implant?
Whatever, 700 different implant brands. Depending, obviously, if you send the model, you have access to all my list. If you scan in-house, you have to have the scan body. But we're talking about the major 30 brand have a scan body right now.
Yeah. And this only costs, what, $20,000, $30,000? Because it sounds amazing.
You mean the price?
Yeah.
Less than $1,000.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
In US, for a 4 to 6 implant, $950. You got the bar, you got the file in your lab ready to be milled in zirconia. And all the lab screw, obviously.
And then whatever the lab designs, that contour and everything, they're going to get back.
Exactly.
Almost.
So we own
untouched.
Well, the zirconia part will be milled by you, so but the underneath all the time, you're going to get a perfect copy of what you have designed. And if you're a traditional technician, send me the wax up. I'm going to scan it and do it.
That's crazy.
So you have that option too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, obviously, we have to work with digital people, but also traditional people. Yeah. So if we go step by step, very simple, let's say a digital guy, you get your scan from your doc or impression, you probably design something on ExoCAD 3Shape, you print a PMMA temporary, you send it back to the doctor check the occlusion, make some adjustment, get it back. You just scan it. You don't have to reopen ExoCAD whatsoever. It is what you want, rescan it, send me the file. You want to modify it, let's say because you want to do a full contour staining glaze, you scan it. You want to create facial aesthetic, so you reduce the facial, either manually, or you rescan it in ExoCAD, you reduce it or 3Shape, then you send me the final. I split the file, send back, you mill a zirconia, I mill the bar.
So we can do whatever the hell we want.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I know.
That is
I'm
so
really
neat.
happy.
Yeah, you should be.
I mean, that's for me, it's interesting, and I think for all the ceramists around there, it's going to be a very nice solution.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Lab Day is going to be a big talk, and I think unless they come up with some new material we haven't even thought of, I think a lot's going to go to that zirconia titanium combination.
I'm going to be honest, there's already a good solution, alternative solution, but nobody jumped on it. It's been there for 8 years now. Pectin and composite, but it doesn't rise. Nobody get into it, but it's an amazing product. With composite, you do amazing solution. It's way lighter, but nope.
Why?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Doesn't it break more often?
No, not for what I understand.
Interesting. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've never really used it.
It's a great product,
much.
but few people master it. Obviously, you have to learn the composite, but if you're a ceramist, I believe it's accessible for you. This is how it is.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I said, it is something you're going to see out there in the market. There's already a couple of solutions out there. They're not, I think, I find a way to fine-tune it to make it accessible to any technician. But there's other solution out there. I'm going to play fair. There's a couple of solutions out there. It's not too bad.
That's fine.
But I believe they're more complicated or less accessible.
When can people send these things to you?
I got my first cases last Thursday.
So that's
Because
already happening.
I trained my salespeople last Wednesday. Thursday morning,
It's time.
I had cases ready to mail.
I
So
bet.
Cool.
the real official first cases have started. And there's a couple of features we're going to launch through the next month to have a full launch at Chicago.
So how do you become a beta lab? Or a beta?
You call one of my rep or me personally, and then we have a talk. But I'm going to say I'm not against closing. But the only thing I ask with Beta Lab is to work with me. I want feedback.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah,
mostly
yeah.
what I want to
So
optimize
important.
my solution
Yep.
because there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
I already have 2 guys today that had suggestion to improve it and have a little more option. So I says that's exactly what I was hoping
Yeah.
for a beta phase.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
For sure.
not every option is available yet. Some people will say, hey, can you do that? For example, I don't do engluted channel for the moment. I want straight. If you have engluted channel and you want a bad orientation implant, for the moment, we don't offer it. Why? Because we want to start with easy case and slowly bring the option until we get to Chicago to make sure everything's fit well and perfect.
But it sounds like you will have that option.
I will have that option, but obviously 8mm with engluted channel, forget it, not
Yeah,
gonna work.
now you need more
I
space.
need more space, obviously.
You need at least 12
That's
for an
great.
angled, right?
It depends of the implant, there's multiple stuff that will depend. The height of the original implant screw play a lot in that.
Yeah.
So if you have a multi-unit screw, I can do the angle channel in shorter size than if you have a very long screw.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Obviously.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I want to pivot real quick.
Go ahead.
Magnets.
Yes.
So the guy that was presenting, what was his name?
Jeff Dugray.
Jeff Dugray. He had a great case with magnets.
Yes.
As far as I know, magnets went away in the early 90s.
Yes.
Why did you bring magnets back?
Because there should be on the market, but you have multiple problems with what was out there. First of all, magnets are not for your average patient. They are for your geriatric patient.
Sure.
85, 90 years old patient that have implant, but now struggle for hygiene, struggle to remove their prosthesis, but they still, I mean, when you're not, I don't know, okay, I'm not there yet, but one day I'm going to be 90 years old, and if there's one thing I will love to be enjoying at 90 years old is a good meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having good teeth is important to have a good meal, obviously. It's probably the last thing you can enjoy at the end of your life, okay?
Yep.
You know, you whole. But the problem we see right now in retirement house, a lot of older patients have been asked to remove any implant-supported structure because it's too complicated to remove to help the patient with hygiene. So they prefer to have regular denture that the nurse can literally take her hand and remove it.
Yeah,
okay?
they don't have to get up in there.
Yeah,
and
exactly. They
pull
want to
off.
get it there and remove MK1 attachment, whatever it is. I mean, they're great, but not at 90 years old.
Yeah, sure.
So magnet first, you have to target the proper, because if you put in a patient mount of 65 years old, you're going to call and complain because it's always dropping off.
Yeah.
It's solid for a 90 years old patient, not for a 65 years old patient.
Yeah.
And secondly, magnet used to be flat on flat. So the problem, you didn't have any lateral consideration. So you could move it with your tongue from left to
Yeah,
right.
it's like a
and so-
magnet on a refrigerator. You could just slide it around. Yeah.
Now we develop it with a German company called Steko. They've been there for over 30 years doing maxillofacial magnet for high nose and ear prosthesis.
Yeah, very
and
cool.
then we have developed a new shape with the conical shape. So what's happened is that once the two parts are together, so it's a male and a female part, it cannot move sideways. It's stable. And why we decided to go with Steko, they developed where the male and female part are magnetized.
Both
Both of them are magnetized, and there's different technology of magnet without going into detail. But what I want to explain is, normally when you pull a magnet off the other magnet, the more you pull, less string you have until you have none. Okay, so it's a curve that go down, as a diagonal.
We all
if you
did
do a
that as a
graph.
kid with two magnets.
Oh,
You pull
yeah.
And you feel it, and you're like, that's a weird feeling.
Yeah, exactly. With Steko, what happened is that as long as the magnet field are together, you have the same strength. It's always the same. Until you reach a breaking point, it goes to zero, from all to nothing. So what happens is that you have a strong fill. It's short, but a strong fill, but you always keep it. So if your patient eat it with their tongue, it's not going to pop out.
Because it's
Wow.
strong.
Because
yeah.
it stays strong, but when you reach the break point, it goes to zero instantly. So what happened? It's make it easier to put it in patient mouth. Because it's easy to bring it, and suddenly it's pop into place precisely. So all of that detail together make us say there's room for magnet, but we just had to solve a couple of problems.
Yeah, and you have to know
You just have to be older.
your patient.
Yeah, obviously it's for old patient. And that what is
Yeah.
great, the magnet bar, as was presented by Jeff, is an extension of our prior product called the integrated bar or the IB bar in market. This is the same concept with nylon. What we say is that you put your patient with nylon, and then your patient is 65 years old, 70 years old. They start with nylon, with the strong nylon.
Yep.
Then they get older and say, hey, doc, it starts to be hard to remove. Well, let's go to a lower level of retention with a softer nylon. And at the point they say it's still strong and you're in the extra soft, you unscrew all the standard part and you screw the magnet because they're compatible all together.
Wow.
Nice.
You don't even have to send me anything. You just have, and then you can reindex if the denture is still good, you just reindex it with the female part. Yeah. And boom, you continue with the same patient for the rest of their life.
So you don't even need a new denture. You
No.
just need a new
There you go.
way of
You just have to buy
connecting it.
standard part that it's off the shelf at our place. You don't have to do anything custom anymore.
So if you're really smart and you got that odd patient that's in their 20s needing dentures, and you're like, you're going to get to a point in your life in about 70 years, you're going to need magnets. Let's use these parts now.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, because your example is funny because you started with the 20 years old.
I know.
But
It's like
bread and butter patient are 60, 65
Sure,
years old, okay?
sure.
But you start at 60, 65, and you never know. Some people will have very good strength until their last 90.
Oh,
Some people,
sure.
5, 10, 20 years later on, they lose their strength or they develop Parkinson or any other mobility.
Absolutely.
And then, boom, the magnet is there. But when you think about it, on a business point of view, I mean, you do wear glass, Elvis. If I could sell you glass and find a way to make sure you will always come to my shop for the glass for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
that's a good business plan.
That's a good business
That's
plan.
the whole concept there. You put yourself in your, with your technology as a lab in the dentist, and you follow your patient until
You'll get
the
me
rest
every
of their
10
life.
years because I'm terrible about buying glasses.
that's fantastic.
So you launched the magnets last year?
We launched it at IDS in Germany last March.
Last March.
Yeah, it's brand new. It's still new.
IDS.
Because I know you showed it to me in Chicago.
Yeah, I did show you in Chicago as a pre-launch, and then
Yep.
a month later we were in Germany, and that was the official launch.
And
Wow.
I'm just curious. A lot of traction with magnets? I mean, did it explode? Did
Is
everyone was
that
like,
a joke, like attraction?
oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
But,
I didn't even plan on it. I'm just saying,
Yes.
did the industry
Yes.
like, oh my gosh,
yes.
thank you,
It-
magnets.
But still, yes. I mean, everybody is impressed. Obviously, I did not expect to sell of those like
Yeah, I mean,
bread like next day because
gotta be
obviously
90 years old, yeah.
you have to schedule more your patient with that. There's a little more work, to do that. But yes, it is working. People are buying it. People are interested worldwide. In Europe, I have a lot of attraction with that also. People are very interested.
That's
Like
great.
the Fusion Bar.
Yep.
I didn't talk about it. I was already doing cases without knowing it. So that's a different product, obviously. It's happening already. I'm just, filling the hole, the
Sure.
gap that is need to be filled. The magnet, I'm creating something that is kind of new. Was
Yeah.
there 20, not more than 20, I think like 40 years old,
It's
by
a
the way.
long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time
Wow.
ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is. It
Doing
is.
good things at Panthera, as
That's
always.
right.
We try, and then I would love to invite your listener to apply for the next Master Cup starting after Christmas. We're gonna start to receive people, and
2024.
I know. As I said, Elvis, I know you plan to have maybe some of the competitor of this year to come and talk. I hope they're gonna
Always.
come.
Always.
And there's one thing that everybody gonna say is that you have to try. A lot of technician because. The danger of what we did, people believe it's reserved to the top of the top technician. I just want to remember everybody, I had right now in the top 3 a young lady, 24 years old.
Yeah, that's so.
I don't think
Amazing.
she asked herself if she was among the top. She just say, I'm
Yeah.
going to try and give my best.
Yeah.
And here she is. So what I'm seeing
That's
is
great.
and what I'm seeing is that everybody win of trying it. Doing the top 10, that's mean doing the cases, it's probably the best business card you could ever. Lola, she told me she's been asked to give a lecture, I think next week or in 2 weeks. And she would say, what do you want me to talk? And the guy says, I want you to talk about your dental passion. And she said, if there's one thing that show my passion, it's the case I just finished for a Master Cup.
Yeah.
Because I do it with all my passion, all my heart. So I says, how great is that? And what I love about that story, Lola did not make the top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sad. I'm always sad about these 7 others that don't make the top 3.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
every time I hear story about people talking about cases, Jeff DeGray did the contest 4 years ago, and he still showed us his case on the screen an hour ago because he's so proud of that job he did.
Mark brought his.
Mark brought his case. Obviously, Mark is one that made as a winner, so obviously he's really proud of it. But what I prefer is to hear the story about the one that didn't make the top 3 or the number 1, but still talk about their cases. And as I say,
because they're so proud of it.
The Master Cup is not about the prize. It's about the journey.
Yeah.
And that's the whole story behind it. And that's why every technician should try. Because it's literally changed their life.
Yeah. And other than time, it doesn't cost anyone to
It costs, I will say, some acrylic.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which we're already using.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't have a lot of those in your lab.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
With our partner we have right now, all the teeth are provided, the bar are provided, the articulator is landed. No, this year every participant will leave with the Amann Gerback articulator. So all top 10 get an articulator.
I saw the picture of those, the top 3, and they had the same articulator, and I was like, well, that's nice.
That's the Artex from Amann Gerback being one of our sponsors. To give one articulator to each top 10 participant.
Well,
That's
remind us
sweet.
again how you become top 10. You just submit a case.
You submit, no, so there's a paperwork to fill, and I'm going to use that time, okay? If we ask for maximum 500 words to talk about yourself, that's mean I expect between 400 to 500, not 10 words to say, I love dental technique. That's not,
I like teeth.
You know, yeah, exactly. I want a story. I want to know your story. Everyone have an interesting story.
Sure.
So we ask people to fill. There's a couple of questions. Mostly is, what is about you? Why should I pick you? And then talk to me about 2 cases that you've done and provide a couple of pictures of your cases. Okay, that's it. That's mostly it. So, but obviously, tell me a story.
So you're connecting with emotion as well as skill.
Well, I mean, we want there's one thing that's important. You need a documentation when you do the case, the final case. So I want to see, are you okay to do a documentation? If you cannot document your application, you're not gonna be picking the top 10, obviously, because I need documentation. I mean, some of them made video, or some of them I've seen some documentation with 200 PowerPoint slide. Just to give you an idea how documentation. And then what is love? Lola says, I just created documentation for my next 3 years lecture.
Yeah.
I can talk about technique for 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's all the same. Mark is still giving lecture about his cases 7 years later, because it was in 2017 that he won. So you create material content that will stay for your life. So that's what I'm looking in the application.
I think it's great you allow the technicians to own that.
Yeah.
A lot of companies, when you do a competition or whatever, you don't own it anymore.
No. What the rule says is that at the end you get back all your cases, so it's yours. The only thing is that the top 3 and the winner, we keep them a little longer because we promote, take picture, and so on, obviously.
Yeah, as you should.
The documentation is mutually owned. You can do whatever you want, but as a company, Pentura, we own also it to do whatever we want. But if you want to sell it, I don't care. I want to have the same right. I want to be able to show it, present it, or use it as marketing. And there you go. You got your documentation.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Beatrice, it's always wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you.
Was great.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure anytime. And then I'm listening to you quite often.
Thank you.
It's really great to listen to you. You have a lot of interesting guests.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good
have
to
a
see
great
you.
day. Bye.
Yep, bye.
A huge thanks to Marjola, Erika, and of course Beatrice for sitting down with us at the DTG Symposium. It was really great to know 2 amazing young technicians that are starting their careers and such an amazing path at such a young age. I'm just really jealous. And in New York, of course, which is my favorite city. Not only are they getting to learn a lot working directly with patients, but they seem to have a lot of fun while doing it and with each other. They got a really great vibe. And of course, congratulations on your CDTs and your 13,000% raise. That's kind of unheard of, but and nice. And if anybody could describe Beatrice in one word, it's innovative. Seems like Panthera is constantly coming up with amazing products and solutions that help labs help patients get restored. So look for a lot more information from them on this exciting way to take your traditional zirconia arches to a whole new level. I love it.
It's going to be exciting what they have at Lab Day next year.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, everybody. That's all we got for you. And we will talk to you next week.
Have a good one.
Bye. These are the easy names from DTG, too.
You're so right.